guys, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. So today I wanted to come and do my mid-year reading check-in. So we are officially halfway through the year of 2020. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like this year is just going by so slow and there's just so much, but that's for another time. I wanted to check in and talk about my reading for the year of 2020. So basically, my reading is going like 2020 is going. It is a huge, huge failure. Just, I don't know what's wrong. So I gave myself a goal at the beginning of this year to read 50 books by the end of the year. So we are midway through, so I should be about 25, 26 books in, right? That's where I should be. Well, I have only read 13 books. Now, I know there are people out there who maybe read like one book a month or one book a year. So for me to have read 13 books is a pretty good thing for some people. But for me, I'm a reader. I have this channel. I have all these books. I need to be reading. And I just haven't. I've basically spent most of this quarantine binge watching TV shows and movies. That's what I've been doing. Instead of picking up a book, I just turn on my Roku and put on Netflix, put on YouTube, put on Hulu. That's what I've been doing. So I really need to catch up on my reading. So I am definitely behind. I probably more than likely will not hit 50 books unless the second half of the year I'm just like boom, 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 getting them out, which is possible. I'm sure it is possible. But knowing me and knowing how I am, I probably won't hit 50. But I will still try to get as close as I can. But I wanted to talk about a few of the books that I have read so far this year that I really have enjoyed. And then we're gonna keep going. We're gonna make the rest of 2020 count. I'm going to read. I'm making that promise to myself that I am going to read. I do plan on participating in the Reading Rush this year, which starts on July 20th. So that is coming up in about a week and a half. So I do plan on participating in that, and hopefully I can get some good reading done for that, check off some badges, all that fun stuff. But I wanted to talk about 3 books that I have read so far this year that I really did enjoy, and I'm hoping to add to this list by the end of the year. So let's go. Okay, the first book that I want to talk about is actually the very first book that I read in 2020, and I loved it so much. I am so glad I picked it up. I was flying through this. This was one of those books that as I was reading it, I didn't want to put it down. And I'm a reader. When I go to bed, I get in bed and I read before I go to sleep. And it was one of those books that I had to make myself put down and go to bed. Because I'm like, you have a job, Ashley. You got to get up in the morning. But I loved this book so much. And that is Serpent Dove. And this is by Shelby, I think it's Shelby Mahern. But this book, so this is basically about a witch and a witch hunter, and they get into this like tussle and situation to where they end up having to get married. The witch hunter, his name is, oh, now I can't remember their names. What are their names? Okay, so their names are Lou and Reed. So Lou is a witch and Reed is a witch hunter, and they end up having to get married. Reed does not know that Lou is a witch. She hides it pretty well, and she hides her magic and all this stuff, and all these things are happening, and she's like on the run from her mother, who is this like super high witch thing, and I don't know, a lot happens in this book, and I just love the banter between the two of them. It's actually super cute, and you can tell that they start to bond a friendship and then start to fall in love with each other, and it's kind of like a slow burn kind of thing into love, but it's I just loved it. I thought it was so good. The ending just kind of blew my mind. It was a great book to read, honestly. And the second book in the series will be released later this year. I think it comes out in September. And I want to say it is called Blood and Honey. And it has a red cover. But I'm so excited for it. You guys, I was raving about this book. I'm so glad I picked this one up. And I'm really glad that it was the first book that I read in 2020. Which I thought was going to be a start to just an amazing reading year because I started with this. But anyways, moving on. read this if you haven't read it. Definitely pick it up, and then pick up the second book when it comes out, Blood and Honey. I'm so excited. I really hope it's called Blood and Honey, and I'm not just thinking of that beer. I'm pretty sure there's a beer called Blood and Honey that my fiance drinks. Pretty sure there is, but yes. Anyways, pick up Serpent and Dove if you haven't read it, and then pick up the sequel when it comes out. Yes. Okay, the second book that I want to talk about, I actually listened to the audiobook of this one, and I listened to it in the month of February. So in the month of February, I was trying my hardest to read only Black authors or Black related stories because it was Black History Month, and I was very successful in that. I think everything I read was by a Black author, and it was very good. But the second book that I read was Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Well, not the second book, but the second book I want to talk about was Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hilbert, and I really enjoyed this one. It was super cute. I didn't realize, I think she was British, right? I'm pretty sure she's British. But it was a super cute story. So Chloe Brown has this disease that I cannot remember what it was, but she has a hard time sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this one because I don't remember that much about it. I really enjoyed it. I will say I really enjoyed it. It was a cute little romance story. I just picked up the second book in the series, which is Take a Hint, Dani Brown, that follows her sister, and I'm just gonna highly recommend Get a Life, Chloe Brown, even though I am terrible at trying to describe what it was about right now. I really did enjoy it. I promise you I did. But we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the third book that I wanted to talk about in this video. Alright, the third book that I wanted to talk about is The Best Worst Man by Mia Sosa. I loved this book. I recently finished this one about a couple weeks ago. So this one is about Luna, and she is engaged to this guy Andrew, and the day of their wedding, the best man, who happens to be Andrew's brother, Max, comes and says that Andrew is not showing up for the wedding. He doesn't want to get married, and she basically hates Max for that, blames it all on him, and all that. A few years later, she becomes a wedding planner, and she's trying to get this job at this hotel, and she has to work with a guy to get the job. They have to do this like big presentation. He's part of the like a marketing group, I guess you want to say, and it ends up being Max. And they start this like feuding kind of friendship thing, like there's a bunch of banter between them, and then, you know, it starts to turn into a friendship. She slowly stops hating him, and then it turns into a romance, and it's super cute, and I really did love it. I thought it was a little weird at first just because, you know, it is the brother of the guy that she was gonna get married to, but the way that it's played out and written, it is really good. It is super cute. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend this one. So if you haven't picked this one up, definitely pick it up. This one also, I believe, was a 2020 release. I think it just came out a few months ago, so I definitely recommend this one. Okay guys, so those are all the books that I wanted to talk about that I read this first part of 2020. I need to catch up again on my reading. You guys will see a book haul from me. I picked up a lot of books recently. I think there's about 14 books that I picked up, so there's plenty for me to read. I just gotta pick it up, open a book, and read it. So my plan is to read as much as I can the second half of the year. Again, I don't know if I will hit my goal of 50 books, but I will try my hardest to get as close as I possibly can. So I am going to get to reading for sure. I have to read. I have all these amazing books, this amazing bookshelf. I gotta use it. I gotta read, you guys. I gotta read. I hope you guys' reading is going better than mine for the year of 2020. I feel like I've been watching people's videos and people are just like zooming through books. I've seen people that have read like 14 books in 1 month. I wish I could do that. I think the most I've read in 1 month is maybe 5 or 6 books. I don't know if I could get in 14 books unless I was just doing absolutely nothing but reading the whole month. I feel like it would literally take me doing nothing at all the whole month, including going to work, to read that many books. But I'm gonna see what I can do for the rest of the year. But I hope you guys are enjoying your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!